Hi, I'm Hadas and I'm a Canva certified creative. In this tutorial, I'm about to show you 5 creative ways that you can use one of my favorite features in Canva, the background remover, which is a pro feature. Are you ready? Let's go. In this tutorial, I'd like to show you how you can create a breakout image using background remover. What am I talking about? Let's jump in and see. So for starters, I am going to search for a photo of a Polaroid frame. Let's go to Photos and search for Polaroid. So I have so many to pick from. Let's take this first one. This looks excellent. Okay, now I'm going to search for a woman pointing with her finger. Okay, let's see. I like this one. Now notice she has a background. I don't want her background. So what I'm going to do is just click on it, go to Edit Image up here, and then click on the background remover feature. It takes a few seconds only and the background is erased. Perfect. So I'm just going to resize her. Maybe lower the frame a little bit. Let's do this. I would like her head to pop out and her lower part of the body be positioned behind the frame. So for this, what I would need to do is first of all position her backward. Let's click on position and backward, and then she's entirely behind the frame. Since I want only her head to pop in front of the frame, what I need to do right now is duplicate her. Notice that I'm duplicating this without the background. Once I've done that, I'm going to place her perfectly above the first image, so you can't even tell. Let me zoom in and see how perfect this is. See, you can't even tell that there are 2 images. So I'm just going to place this perfectly on top of each other. And now the magic happens. All I have to do is crop the lower part of her body. Let's crop, 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 and crop, 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 up until her neckline. See how perfect that is? And now we can just close this a bit. And perfect! Her head is outside the frame, her body is behind the frame. Now all I have to do is just add some text, stickers, emojis, and I have a perfect design. Let's quickly do that. I'll just go to More, click on Emojis, and let's pick a few emojis. Let's take the like button. Cute. Place it here. Let's search for a heart and place it here. How about a flower? Let's take this one. And perhaps a face. Let's just pick a happy face. I like this one. Okay, now we have that. Let's add a sticker. Let's say that we're having a sale. So I'm just going to go to Elements, search for a sale sticker, click on Graphics. Let's pick a nice sale sticker. How about this one? Mega sale. So she's pointing out there's a mega sale. And let's color the background. Since everything is transparent here, I have absolutely no problem. So let's click on the background, go to the color menu, and let's see what we can do. Pink looks absolutely great. So you can add your logo or any other information you need, and boom, you have this professional design in just a few clicks using the background remover. In this next tutorial, I'd like to show you how you can creatively use the background remover to create another kind of third dimension. So I'm going to Photos and I will search for a dancer. So I have some incredible photos here that I can do so much with. And let's pick this black and white ballerina. So in this case, I'd like to change the whole scene of this photo using the ballerina itself. So I'm going to, first of all, remove the background. Go to Edit Image, click on the background remover, patiently wait 2 seconds exactly, and there she is. Now let's click on her again and go to Edit Image and search for shadows. In this case, I will look for a backdrop shadow. Click on that and see it's automatically generated. Now I can double click on these 3 lines and set the vertical angle maybe down here. Absolutely, and the horizontal angle, let's place it from the left. Let's set the transparency a bit. I don't want this to be too blurry. apply it to the photo. And let's place this ballerina on the moon. What do you say about that? Or perhaps on a cloud. Let's go again to photos and search for maybe some moon photos. So many beautiful photos here. And oh, I like this one. Let's drag this to the background. How about that? Let's place our ballerina here with her shadow. And all we have to do is just add some text and you have a beautiful inspirational design. Let's go to text and I'm just going to click on one of these font combinations. I love this one. Let's place it here. I'm not going to change anything because it's so perfect. I'm only going to type in something else. Ungroup this and some inspirational quote, perhaps. You can do anything. Let's add some text effects. Perhaps change its shadow to yellow. Blur it a little bit. And let's type here. The sky is no limit. Perfect. Now how about using some stardust? Did you know that you can find many photos of stardust and remove their background? Let's head off again to photos and this time search for stardust. Oh, so many beautiful ones. Let's take this one and now watch how easy it is to remove its background. Just click on the stardust photo, edit image, background remover, and let the magic happen. Boom. Oh, this is so perfect. I love this. You can also use the eraser and the restore button if you think some things are missing or you'd like to erase manually some things. But in this case, I think it's kind of perfect this way. So I'm just going to position this backward and perhaps resize this a little bit. Flip this vertically and horizontally. Maybe place it here. That's it. 2 background remover moves and you got this amazing inspirational design. In this next tutorial, I'd like to show you how you can create miniature illusions using the background remover. What am I talking about? Let's go ahead and see. So I'm going to the Photos tab and I will search for mushrooms. Now here I have actually the first photo that comes up is a beautiful one. I'm just going to drag this to the background. And what I'm going to do is create an illusion that a fairy is actually sitting on this mushroom. So for this, I will go back to the Photos tab and search for fairy. And the first fairy that comes up is a perfect one, but I'll have to remove her background. So let's just click on that, go to Edit Image, and click on Background Remover. Perfect. Click on Apply, and now all I have to do is just resize this and position her somewhere that it will look realistic, if you can say such a thing about a fairy. Maybe give her a little twist so her shoes are on top of the mushroom. And actually her colors and the lighting on her are not really convincing that this is the same. I don't want this to look too artificial. So I'm just going to go to Edit Image again and search for a filter that will be kind of pinkish, maybe this one. Yes, see? Let me show you what it looked like before. It was kind of grayish and now it looks more vibrant and fits the color palette of this photo. So now I'm just going to give her a little twist. It looks like her dress is really falling down, and maybe add a friend. Let's look for another fairy. Here I have this other fairy. Looks very similar. I'm going to repeat the process, go to Edit Image, remove the background. And what I'm actually going to do in this case is place her behind another mushroom. So now, before I do anything with her, let's just copy paste the filter that we had on the first fairy. I'm just going to click on the first one, go to the Style brush, copy style, and click this fairy as well. Perfect. Now let's just flip her so she's looking towards her friend. Resize her. I think she has too much light on her face, so I'm just going to go to adjust and adjust the brightness a little bit. Perfect. And now what I want to do is I would like to place her behind this mushroom because this doesn't look really good. So for this matter, I'm just going to add another mushroom photo. I'm just going to go back to recently used and find this mushroom photo. It is not going to be a background like the first one. I am just going to remove its background. Go to Edit Image, click on Background Remover, and I actually only need the mushroom on the right. So once the mushroom will be cleared of the background, here it's a little bit difficult to see on top of this. I'm just going to crop this here and just get rid of everything that I don't need. And what I need to do now is stretch this to the exact size of the mushroom. So let's try and be as precise as possible. Perhaps zoom in a little. Well, I think this is pretty close. It's not 100% perfect, but it doesn't really matter in this case. And now, see? The fairy is behind the mushroom. So I can add as many fairies as I'd like. And this is how you create a miniature illusion. Let me quickly show you two more examples. I'm just going to open up another page. And in this case, I'm going to search for a hiker. And what I'm going to do in this case is look for a shoe. Close up of a shoe. Here, let's drag this to the background, and what I can do right now is maybe stretch this a little bit to make it bigger, and then the contrast will be much more interesting. And I would like to add two little people here that are pushing this person. So let's go ahead and search for push. You'll be surprised by the results. See, we have a lot of people pushing, and actually I really like these two. They're pushing a car. But once I go to Edit Image, remove the background, see what I get? I have these two people, and I do have the car that was not erased. In this case, no worries, just go to the eraser, perhaps resize the brush size, and always zoom in. When you do these corrections, always zoom in to make sure you don't erase something you shouldn't. Don't worry if it's not 100% perfect. It is so tiny, no one will be able to tell. Okay, so I have this grass here, which actually serves me well. No worries, you can always use the restore button if you need to bring back his toes. But in this case, it really doesn't matter that much. So I'm just going to click on Done. And let's just zoom out a little, take our little people back, take our little people, and let's twist them a little, place them, see how their hands fit perfectly on the shoe. Wait. And I actually have no problem with his toes missing in this case. And there you go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Now, I think that they have too much light on their face. It looks really artificial. So in this case, I'll just go to Edit Image and make a few adjustments. And I think that's cute. How about that? Let me show you another one really quickly. And in this case, I am going to search for cream. I really like this one. And now I'm going to search for someone who's sitting. So I'm just going to type in sitting, and I'm going to take this lady. Let's go to Edit Image, remove the background. Perfect. And place her inside the cream jar. Now, don't worry about that. She's black and white. I think it's kind of artistic. And also, don't worry about her hands cut out because it looks as if they're inside the cream jar. I'll just place this like this, maybe resize her a little bit, maybe twist a little bit. Okay, it looks like she's holding it from within. So no worries about that. Now, when you do these type of things, take into consideration the lighting, the original lighting of the photo. You can see that all these jars have this transparency or even a bit of a shadow or reflection on the table. So I'm just going to add a shadow to my model so it'll look more convincing. Just go to Edit Image and then go back to shadows. And let's look for a backdrop shadow. And I really don't want this from behind because as you can see, everything falls down in front of the jars. So I'm just going to change the angle, play around with the angles a bit, be something like that. Blur it a little more so it looks as if it is actually a reflection. Maybe play a bit with the transparency. And that's a very small and minor adjustment, but it makes a whole difference. So these are miniature illusions that you can use just using the background remover. In this next tutorial, I'd like to show you how you can use the background remover to create a camouflage effect, or as I call it, a CANVA-FLAGE. So for this tutorial, I will be using a photo and a text box only. Let's head off to Photos, search for leaves, and I'm going to pick this one. I'm just going to drag and drop it to my background. As you can see, I can't see the full picture, so I'm just going to double click on this and I'm going to swipe it all the way to the right up until the end, and there is a reason for that, which I will explain in just a minute. Click on Done, and now let's pick a text box. Go to Text, and I'm just going to click on this font combination, Be Brave. Just use the effect to fill the letters and also change the background of the shadow to black so it will look as if it's floating. Just make a few adjustments. And now, let's do this. And now what I want to do is actually put some leaves on top of some of the letters so I get the illusion that some of the letters are on top of the table and the leaves are on top of the letters. Mission impossible? Wait and see. So what I'm going to do now is add another photo, the same photo, but this time not as a background. So now I'm just going to click on this one. Make sure you don't drag and drop this to the background. I'm just going to remove its background. Go to Edit Image, click on Background Remover. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this at the top left corner. The reason I'm doing this, and this is the reason why I swipe the background all the way to the right, is to make complex things simple. I'm just going to zoom out and resize this to the exact size of the background. See, up until here, it snaps, and then I know it's perfectly on top of the lower layer. I don't need to eyeball anything or work extra hours. Once I've done that, I can also crop all this access image all the way here and zoom back in. Now what I want to do is I want to bring this huge leaf behind the letter V and the letter B. And I want to put some leaves here on top of the B. I want to make it appear as if some of the letters on top of the leaves, some are underneath. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just crop this a little bit so I have access to this text box. And now I'll click on the top layer, the one without the background, and I'm just going to crop it from the right to the left. And I want you to see what happens to the letter V. As you can see, the leaf is behind the letter V and on top. So it seems as if the leaf is between the two parts of the letter. Now I can do the same from the other side and then reveal the letter B and the letter R, and then stop right here in the middle between the R and the A. And see what happens? Some of the leaves are on top of the A, some are behind the letter R. And this creates the illusion that the letter A is on top of the table and all the rest of the letters are kind of floating above it. But actually, they're not. How cool is that? So you can repeat this process with more and more layers and create more illusions with more leaves on the rest of them. Now, I do notice that the leaves here where the letter B is are a bit cropped. So I can either open this a little, right up to here, but what you can do in this case is just click on the text box and move it a little, just a tiny bit. And when I do that, you see it got fixed. So sometimes it's just a matter of moving objects around. It's either the text box or your photo, and everything falls into place. And that's your CANVA-FLAGE. How about creating a game using the background remover? I thought about creating a board game, perhaps kind of a mystery game. So let's go ahead and see how we can create our own players. So let's look for a retro man. And let's look for someone. Oh, I like this one. Let's take this. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is, of course, remove his background. So click on background remover. And then click on apply. Let's color the background. Let's look for some old paper, perhaps. This is going to be a vintage game. Okay, this one. Now I'm going to go back to my guitar player and click on edit image, shadow. And what I'm going to do is pick the glow shadow. Then click again on the 3 lines, and I'm going to create a sticker effect as if this is a card in my game. So first of all, I'm going to change the shadow to white, and then set the size to the maximum, the transparency to the maximum, and the blur to the minimum. And then I get this sticker feel. So I'm just going to resize this a little bit. And I would like to add another type of shadow, a drop shadow perhaps, but I just want to introduce to you another option to do this. You can just head over to photos and search for shadow. And you have a lot of interesting things here. I'm just going to use the first one up here. See, I have this shadow and I'm going to place this underneath and just move my sticker forward. And there I have this shadow right here. I'm just going to go to elements and search for a paper banner. I'm going to name my character. Okay, I'm going to put this here, give it a little twist, and let's call him the musician. Of course. Pick a font. And that's it actually. I'm just going to add a few more players and create my board game. I can print this, I can make this a poster, I can use this as a home screen, I can use this as the background for my Zoom. I can do a gazillion things with this. See? That's it. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more tutorials, you're welcome to follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel called I Can Canva. I'll see you all next time. Bye!